Good evening. Thankful for all of you for being a part of this tremendous, empowering faith mental health summit hosted by Dr. DeAndrea Bolden. And tonight, quickly, I just want to address what does it mean to intersect faith and mental health and how we can help college students, how we can help young people overcome the challenges that many are facing and many are dealing with in the society that we're in right now and what they are going through with the pandemic. Before the pandemic, there was much turmoil and much stress and strain that was really not was under the surface, but it wasn't really out in the open. But now is even more so known. So, how does faith help people with mental health struggles? You know, in 2021, there was a studies have shown that students in 2021 reported unprecedented amounts of fear and uncertainty about their educational choices and future. Such emotional trauma leads directly to no-shows, dropping out, and ultimately lower enrollment rates. Helping students navigate the challenging times, welcoming them back with meaningful solutions for their newfound anxieties is essential for institutions and educators alike. Studies say that 1 in 5 Americans will have a diagnosable mental health challenge in their lifetime. And nearly 50% of all Americans will have a mental health challenge by the age of 14 years old. So when we think about this, we want to look at it from a wellness, and from a social, emotional, whole person wellness perspective when it comes to faith and mental health. When we look at recovery, wellness, and building resilience, emotional, coping effectively with life and creative, satisfying relationships. That's what the emotional aspect is coping effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. Environmental, good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. Financial, satisfaction with current and future financial situations. Social, developing a sense of personal connection, belonging, and a well-developed support system. Spiritual, expanding our sense of purpose and meaning of life. Occupational, personal satisfaction and enrichment derived from one's work. Physical, recognizing the need for physical activity, diet, sleep, and nutrition. Intellectual, recognizing creative abilities and finding ways to expand knowledge and skills. Environmental, good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. What we want to look at a mental health overview is a sense of a whole person wellness perspective, a whole person. Many times we look great on the outside. Many times we look excellent on the outside, but our inside, we're battling demons. We're battling things on the inside. So faith and faith can help with a whole person wellness. When we talk about wellness, meaning overall well-being, for people with mental health and substance abuse, these conditions, wellness is not simply the absence of disease, illness, or stress, but the presence of purpose in life. This is where faith comes in, the presence of purpose, a higher meaning. Personally, myself, that is a word that's used, in my opinion, too much. But we want to have a purpose in life. We want to have a direction, a focus, a more significant life. Really, that we're just not here to exist, but we're here for a greater good more than ourselves. And so when we talk about a purpose, that the whole person, so the presence of purpose, life, active involvement in satisfying work, and the absence of a whole healthy environment. In other words, a healthy body in a living environment, and happiness. So we want to incorporate mental, emotional, physical, occupational, intellectual, and spiritual aspects of a person's life. All of these, and spiritually, it's said that we are mind, body, and soul. We're spirit, body, and soul. And from a spiritual faith perspective, many I would say that we're a trichotomy being, not a dual being. We're a spirit, body, and soul. And so the whole person, we want to address and empower the whole man, the whole woman. And so the whole person wellness, it involves looking at a healthy body, happiness, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual aspects of a person's life. Each aspect of wellness can affect the overall quality of life. Each aspect. Building resilience and maintaining wellness. Being resilient means a person is able to cope with challenges, trauma, threats, or other forms of stress. Getting help for mental health conditions can improve one's ability to take other steps to build resilience. To strengthen resilience, people need to build connections with family and friends. To strengthen resilience, building connection with family, having a support system, having a network of people that will be there to support the person when they're going through challenges that we all can face and we can all deal with. Nurture a positive view of yourself. The word says in Philippians 4, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Nurture a positive view of yourself. Accept that change is a part of living. Some goals may no longer be attainable as a result of changing situations. Maybe I don't want to talk too fast, so let me slow down and say that again. Accept that change is a part of living. Some goals may no longer be attainable as a result of changing situations. Reach out. Reach out to help others. That's a part of what, and that's a part of what faith is that faith can bring about a sense of community. And when you have that sense of community and support and camaraderie and others around and iron sharpening iron and people being there, friends stick it closer to a brother, or he that has friends must show himself friendly. That friendship and that environment, that support system is just essential for helping someone overcome a challenge and mental health challenges. So reach out to help others. Develop realistic goals and take small, regular steps toward them. There's an acronym. A lot of times, the acronym is given called SMART goals: successful or measurable, attainable, reachable, time-based. SMART goals. Strategic, I believe, is the first word for. So develop realistic goals and take small, regular steps. Look for growth in loss. And this is based out of from the SAMHSA Wellness Initiative, the SAMHSA Wellness Initiative. This is some of this, what this is based from. Look for growth in loss. Look for growth in loss. Trust your instincts. Sometimes we don't trust our gut. We don't trust our instincts. And so those are some of the things that we can help when people are facing mental health challenges, and how faith can help someone is when we trust our instincts and trust our natural inclination and our natural thing, what we think initially. Take care of ourselves. We can't help others if we're unwell ourselves. So that's a part of many, what may be overlapping. Many others may talk about self-care and talk about rest and talk about the proper way that we care for ourselves and the proper way that we interact and the proper way that we deal with certain situations, and how we treat our bodies and treat ourselves. When we take care of ourselves, we'll be able to better help others. We can't help others if we don't take care of ourselves. Boost mental health by remembering that the mind and body are connected. Boost mental health by remembering that the mind and body are connected. Eat right, exercise, get enough sleep, and take care of health problems promptly. Avoid alcohol and other drugs. This is from SA and MHA. I'm not getting into, what the Lord turned water into wine and all of that magic of the Bible, but this is according from this. It says avoid alcohol and other drugs. So this whole person wellness, the whole person, if we deal with the whole person, will help. We will transform people's lives and transform our lives to be better people. The mind and the body are connected in many important ways. Problems that first affect the mind can later increase a person's risk for physical problems such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or malnutrition. Conversely, problems that affect the body, such as a disease or an accident, can affect mental health, our emotions, our thinking, and our mood. 68% of adults with mental disorders also have medical conditions. According to this, is based on the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation 2011 study, which says that medical disorders and medical comorbidity, saying that there's a connection between mental and physical conditions. 29% of adults with medical conditions also have mental disorders. Adults living with medical conditions also have adults living with serious mental illness die on average many years earlier than other Americans, largely due to treatable medical conditions. So how do we provide support? Faith leaders support for people. Faith leaders can provide support to individuals with mental health conditions and their families. We encourage faith leaders and lay leaders to take training like the mental health first aid to become familiar with the basics of mental health conditions and ways to respond appropriately. Create a welcoming environment. Create an environment where people can come and they can feel that they won't be judged, that they won't be condemned if they're facing mental health challenges. There's studies that show that people that are a faith leader who can help people, that people that have a strong faith system are able to deal with grief and able to deal with challenges better in their lives when they have a strong faith system, a strong system of support of spirituality and religion. The American Psychiatric Association's Handbook of Diagnostic Classification says that mental health challenges and mental health conditions can be aided by faith-based groups and by faith-based organizations. When faith leaders are involved in the lives of their parishioners and they're involved in the lives of their constituents and their congregants, is what I wanted to say, that they're able to help those who face these kind of challenges, those who are dealing with these kind of challenges. And we all can be, there are people in the Bible, there are men in the Bible, whether it was Elijah, whether it was Judas, who had thoughts of suicide, who even some would say Judas committed suicide. So it's nothing new. But faith, especially in line with what we talked about, starting out in the beginning, talking about students and those who are facing challenges and building their resilience and building wellness. And with all that we have faced in the last 2 years, when you have a system, a faith system and a faith-based curriculum and a faith-based support, I think it's in a sense, I think it's paramount that if we don't have faith, we will be in serious trouble. And we won't be able to overcome some of the challenges that we face in our lives without a strong faith system, without a faith in God, without a faith in a spiritual power, without a faith in a spiritual being. We will face challenges that we won't be able to overcome in our lives without that faith system, without that faith support, without those community of believers, the community of people that are able to help. We empower one another and help one another deal with the challenges that we face in life. So in summary, the whole person wellness is what we should strive to help people, whether it's young people, whether it's college students, whether it's middle school students, whether it's elementary students, whether it's parents, whether it's those who are dealing with virtual learning, who are facing now going back to in-person learning, whatever it might be, a faith system, a faith support for people with mental illness is very, very encouraging to them, encouraging to us to overcome those challenges. What are some of the signs that a person may have mental illness? Some of the signs that a person may be dealing with mental illness is that loss of appetite, or a person may seem confused or disoriented, have gaps in memory of events, answers questions inappropriately, appears sad, depressed, or overly high-spirited, overcome with hopelessness, overcome with circumstances, switches emotions abruptly, speaks too quickly or too slowly, misses words, uses vocabulary inconsistent with level of education, stutters or has long pauses in speech, seems to respond to unusual voices or / visions, expresses racing, disconnected thoughts, expresses bizarre or unusual ideas, appears disheveled, poor hygiene, trembles or shakes, unable to sit or stand and sit still, wears inappropriate attire. So there are some signs that a person may be dealing with mental illness. But I think about even in the biblical account of one who many believe faced the mental challenge in the book of Mark, chapter 5. There was a man who had many demons, or called himself Legion. He said that I am Legion because we are many. And this man had all of this demons, and it says that he came to the other side of the sea, the region of the Gerasenes. As soon as he got out of the boat, a man with an unclean spirit came out of the tombs and met him, talking about Christ. Meeting Christ. He lived in the tombs. No one was able to restrain him anymore, even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains. But it snapped off the chains and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. And always, night and day, he was crying out among the tombs and the mountains and cutting himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance and knelt down before him, he cried out with a loud voice, "What do you have to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you before God, don't torment me." For he had told him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit." "What is your name?" he asked him. "My name is Legion," he answered him, "because we are many." And he kept begging him not to send him out of the region. Now a large herd of pigs was there, feeding on the hillside. The demons begged him, "Send us to the pigs so we may enter them." And he gave them permission. Then the unclean spirits came out and entered the pigs, and a herd of about 2,000 rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned there. The men who tended to them ran off and reported in the town and the countryside, and people went to see what had happened. They came to Jesus and saw the man who had been demon possessed. And this is where faith in a belief, and I would say in Christ, but a belief, it says that here's this man that's been cutting himself. Here's this man that has been in the tombs, and he's been doing all kinds of things. But when he comes in contact with the master, it says when he came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been demon possessed. Verse 15, they came and saw Jesus who had been demon possessed by the legion, sitting there dressed in his right mind, and they were afraid. The eyewitnesses described them what had happened to the demon-possessed man, told about the pig, they began to leave him, they began to beg him to leave their religion. Here's a man that had gone through all of this challenges and all of what we consider to be suicidal and depressive and clinical and hopeless situation. But when he came into contact with the Master Jesus Christ, his life totally changed. His life was turned upside, it was turned up, right side up. I don't want to say upside down. His life was changed when he came to know who Jesus was. And I personally think that we should connect people to Christ. But whatever it may be, whatever faith that they find, that faith will make a powerful difference in the lives of who are battling anxiety and depression and suicidal thoughts and loss of weight and thoughts of killing themselves and thoughts of doubt and defeat and despair and despondency, connecting them to someone greater and higher than themselves. So thankful to you for watching this awesome summit, this great summit. This is essential and needed faith mental health summit with hopefully that you will gain so many nuggets of how we can be better in helping people navigate and helping intersect faith and mental health so that many can overcome and be greater and do great things and have a wonderful life. Thank you for your time, and follow me on social media if you can. My name is Kelvin Weathers. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, at the same, whatever way you also can find me. But hopefully this will be a great time, and I'm sure it will be empowering as you study and learn from all of these dynamic presenters at this 2022 Faith Mental Health Summit. Have a great week. Thank you for your time and your attention.